Welcome everyone to Everyday Passions, the show where my guests share their passion in business and how they've used this passion to impact the lives of others. Welcome to the show, Monica.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. And welcome to our guests who are live, as well as those who will be watching the replay on YouTube or listening to the podcast later on. So today my guest is Monica Periade. Monica is a bestseller author of the inspiring book called Unstoppable You. She's a motivational conversationalist. I love that, Monica. Very unusual. A woman empowering activist who teaches not only women, but also younger individuals as well, how to bring into their lives their individual gifts in order to achieve personal greatness. That's beautiful. Monica has 30 years, as young as she looks, she has 30 years of experience with multinationals in business management and consultancy. And she also has had quite a varied experience, a varied life in various types of industries as well. So Monica, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Now that I have shared where your business acumen is and where you have spent a lot of time, would you please go ahead and share something personal with us so that we can get to know you better and faster?
Of course, something personal. I would say I grew up with having very little and I spent a few years in an orphanage. So that is something I don't share very easily. I don't allow that place to place me in a vulnerable spot, and this is the first time I share this public, except the part that I share it also on the end of my book. I found love inside my heart as I look for it throughout so many years, and now I feel that I am healed and brave to share that personal thing about me.
Wow, I had no idea, and I've known you for a little while now. I had no idea about that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Monica, that's the personal side, business side. Tell us now about your passion. What is one thing that you're truly passionate about in your business?
I'm passionate about people. I love people. I love persuasion, and I love playing with words, with thoughts. And I love encouraging people and seeing the best in people. So starting everything from objective thinking and which is in one word, philosophy. I'm passionate about what makes people happy, the well-being and success. What means success for each person? So what differentiates success? And I love being there for people, and I'm passionate to work with people.
Mm-hmm. Good. So I heard success. You're passionate about helping people to achieve success.
Absolutely.
I also heard that you're passionate in helping people achieve happiness. So those are two awesome things, happiness and success. And at this time, in particular in human history, with what's been going on, this is a really great time. There's so many people who need help, especially to look on the positive side, because really happiness comes from within. But if you're not being positive, you're not seeing things on the positive side, it's kind of challenging to be happy at the same time. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, I couldn't agree. And there are times in life that we all need some kind of boost, some kind of encouragement. We all search for answer, different questions at different times, but pretty much we all need some help, and we learn from the one that they are ahead of us in terms of experience spirituality and wisdom and talent. Sometimes people come in this life born with a certain skill, and they develop that skill faster than the others. So we learn from these people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So now, Monica, how or when did you discover that this was a true passion of yours, that you really wanted to help people to achieve their success? You wanted them to experience happiness along the journey. When was this? When did this realization come to you?
I love talking about this. I'll make it really short. However, I love talking about this. Subconsciously, I think it was there always. But in a complete awareness, like a click, it came in 2016 when I started to write incognito on a website that I was not making it public. In 2016, when I came with the concept of anatomy of peace, which later became the anatomy of happiness. It started with willingness to find a way for us to create more awareness around the peace, and then it become more about happiness, because if people are happy, then they can process, and they can feel different about themselves and different about everything around them. So I was simply obsessed with finding a way to bring peace and make people understand that we owe to care for each other. And then I finally realized that all it starts with happiness. So philosophy, words, psychology, minds and behavior, objective thinking, and all that, people, inspiring people, being there for them, it becomes my playground.
Lovely, lovely. And one of the things that I admire about you is that, you know, coming from the background that you shared with us, I really admire that you have come into your own over the years. As you said, you practiced happiness. You learned to be happy yourself, and you became conscious, whether it's from philosophy or whatever angle it was. You became conscious of how, in order for people to enjoy peace, they need to be happy within themselves and happy with who they are. And so you are able to carve out your niche here, carve out a way to support others. But first you supported yourself. So in doing all of that and coming to that realization, how would you say that you have been able to impact the lives of others as a result of this realization and as a result of practicing happiness, being happy and sharing this with others? How have you been able to impact the lives of others?
I think when you share your share a bit of who you are to people, to women that are going through the same things that you went or similar, because might be that the experiences are not really exactly the same, but they affect you, and they produce the similar feelings of sadness, anxiety, and so on. So while I share bits of myself, so I relate, so people they can relate and they can see that I understand what they are going through. I think the most important is that you leave everything that you learn in the coaching school, you learn in school and everything, and you just get to be there for that person. That's one thing. And then accordingly, you see the best. So for me, if I go and I have a session with my coach, I will explain what I'm going through. My mentor is on the other side. So whatever I'm mirroring, my mentor is looking there to find out. So this is how we get to help people. So being there for them and putting together all the love, the willingness and the experience, and also all the the qualifications.
Okay, wonderful. So you said something that is so very important for us as coaches, as consultants, as mentors, and that is focusing on the individual. You said be there for the person you're talking with. And sometimes you have to put away the theory you learned in coaching school and just be your authentic self and connect with the person. Be a mirror for that person, but at the same time, as you're a mirror for them, you are helping them to improve whatever the challenge is and to transform their lives. And that's really beautiful. Now, is there anything else, is there any example, anything you want to share with us as to how this has worked for any of your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, it starts with, at times, I discover even for myself, I had coaches and mentors throughout my life, but what I discovered and came as an epiphany, we find the answer because there is God created uh, God created the human being and he gave us the wisdom. So everything that we look, we already have it. But the way we can help is to listen and to put the right questions and get that person in the right synergy, in the right environment, in the right set of mind. So this is how, in fact, I think we help people. The power is already with the people that we help. It's just we are there for them to inspire, to find, and to take to light exactly the best ideas that they can produce for themselves. The situation differs, obviously. There are people who are blocked, they are stuck in a job and they have a fear of changing and transitioning from one job to another. Of course, you have the tools on how to help and how to, there are certain coaches that they can guide you with tools, with application, with everything that is available there on the online. But of course, a life coach will help you produce that transformation within yourself that you can create the best steps for yourself and make the transition the best option for you.
Excellent. Now, Monica, you have that book right there behind you, Unstoppable You, that I mentioned in the introduction, that you're a best-selling author of the book Unstoppable You. Are there any nuggets, one or two nuggets from that book you'd like to share with us?
It's one will be the one that I just mentioned. God created man and he gives all his wisdom. So everything that we search is within ourselves and we learn from one another. I like this because we learn every day. We get inspired from one another. Another one, you can choose to have your best day. You can choose to call someone and be grateful to have a conversation with someone, or you can choose to feel, you can decide how your day is going to be by the emotion that you allow. It's not like some people will say, oh, you are living in a delusional mind of some people, they simply don't understand why the need of being positive when things are not positive. It's not that, because one thing creates another. So it's like one tear creates another, one smile brings another. So that's why we need to have the positivity. So it's our choice. So my book, my first baby, it's an inspirational book. It's written with love for people, with everything that I felt in my heart. And it's meant to inspire. So it's meant to say she did it. If she could go through all these things and still be there for people, I can too. Pass to whatever I'm passing, could be lacking inspiration on what to do next, could be not having a job, could be after a breakup, could be anything at all. Um, I think if I can inspire someone to be brave enough to continue and to find the best way for themselves, I think I I fulfill my purpose.
Okay. Those are really great tips. And one of the things that I truly appreciate about you throughout the entire conversation is that you believe, and I know you practice this, in keeping things positive, seeing the positive side of everything. Because even in your book, as you just shared, it's really designed to inspire other women so that they feel empowered. As in your introduction, you love to empower people so that they feel empowered, that the fact that other people can do something, can achieve something, regardless of where they started, then it means that it gives them hope and it gives them
Absolutely.
positivity that they can do too.
The book is very general, so it doesn't. So anybody. It's aimed women between 30 and 50 because I'm 50 years old myself. So that's where I stop because I don't want a woman to come to me and say what you can teach me. You are younger than me. Why should you teach me? And I can understand that, and I completely agree. Though sometimes we learn from a 7-year-old things that we never consider. But I completely understood that. But having said that, it can resonate with anyone because I put 50 in a very few pages. It's easy reads, very easy read book, very easy to read book. I put how to say 40 something years of feelings of experience in such a 140 pages. But one thing I would say as tips, but as a tip, I would say that whatever it's bigger, whatever we feel, if it's anxiety, if we feel stuck, if we feel unloved, I know it doesn't sound like it's whatever we feel, it's bigger in our mind than it actually it is. How many times we were 6 years old and we were afraid to jump from a small fence maybe, and it was, oh my God, I can never do that. It's like the same way it happened to me when I went for the tandem to jump from an airplane. Few years back, I saw somebody in Australia doing that, somebody that I know, and I said, oh my God, congratulations. And I said it to tears, I could never do that. And then God, boom, few years later, I'm doing exactly that. It was bigger in my mind. So whatever we want to create as a change starts with acknowledging that it's bigger in our mind. That fear, that emotion. So we don't have to really, how to say, feed that emotion, but we have to face exactly what is that we have in our mind. So if we fear a change, or if a change comes, if a thought comes constant, continue to come back in our mind, then what happens is that we have to really give a time to that thought and really process that thought and see what it takes us. But if we feel we are fearful to do something, we have to realize that is in our mind, and we have to face that fear, and we have to try. It's the same with the airplane, with so many other things. And I hope the reader gets some value from my mumbling.
No. What you have shared is very valuable. And I'm sure our listeners and our viewers will understand that there is a little bit of a language. English is clearly not your first language, but you have done marvelously. You did very, very well in conveying your thoughts to us so that we could understand you clearly. So don't worry about it and don't undermine it by referring to it as bumbling. No, you shared real value, Monica, and I appreciate your
Thank
being
you,
here
Yvonne.
today. You're welcome. So how can our listeners or viewers get in touch with you if they choose to do so? Because I'm sure there are many other people like yourself who may have had a start like you did, or they might be curious to know where are you from. And we're not going to tell them here. If they want to know, they can reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
So how can they get in touch with you?
I'm present on all platforms. I would say in all platforms, social media platforms. I'm present on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Mostly with name Coaching Lives, which is an alias with Inspiring Lives. So Coaching Lives. If somebody wants to find me, they can connect with me there. They can find me on Facebook by Monica Periade. I also have some page and groups there, but that's not the aim. But they can find me Coaching Lives or Monica Periade, and I will be happy to answer any questions or to try to be of service to anyone, and especially to any woman between 30 and 50 that feels that they need a word of encouragement. They need to find their own answers and so on.
Awesome. So Monica, thank you so much for being my guest today. You have
Thank you.
shared, as I said before, a lot of value, and I love the perspective with which you approach everything. Get back into your heart, get into your mind, because a lot of times the things that we do negatively, they're bigger in our mind than they actually are. So we have to address those. If that's to feel the fear, do it anyway, but also recognize that they can get support, regardless of whatever challenges you are facing. There's always someone who can help you. And Monica works with women, especially all ages, but especially between 30 and 50. So please reach out to Monica. And Monica, thank you for being here and
Thank you for your
for,
kindness, Yvonne. I really appreciate it.
oh, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure. And for our listeners and viewers, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Yvonne.